Hello, everybody. Welcome to this Verbling class. I'm teacher Amy, and this class is called Compassionate Men. So, a strange title, you might think. And we're going to be reading a really interesting article today and practicing our reading and pronunciation skills about compassionate men. So, is it more difficult for men or more unusual for men to be compassionate than for women to be compassionate? We're going to find out today. So if you're interested in practicing a little bit of reading and pronunciation, learning some vocabulary, and talking about a slightly unusual but possibly interesting topic, then come along in, because I think we have a few slots free. While we're waiting for our students to arrive, we'll take a look at some important information that you might need to know. So I'll paste these two important pages into my chat box. The first one is my Facebook page. That's my Verbling Teacher Facebook page. You can go ahead to that, and if you want to find out a bit about me, message me, see some of the other things that students have posted in connection with my classes. And the other important page that might be handy for you is my Verbling Teacher page. So this has a little bit more information about me, who I am as a teacher. Also, it has my calendar, which shows not only my upcoming classes like this one, but also my calendar with available tutoring slots if you're interested in private sessions, if you want to focus on something in particular, or learn something just with you and me in the class, because you make a bit more progress that way quite often, then that's the way to do it. So go ahead to my teacher page. If you want to be automatically notified of upcoming classes, then all you have to do is to click on the blue follow button, and that's what will happen. So those pages might be handy for you. Check them out if you wish. So, as I said before, this is a speaking class. Reading, pronunciation, and vocabulary are our three main areas today. And we're going to go and say hello to our students. So first of all, we have Luo or Luo. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. Hello.
Yeah, hello. I think law is the right pronunciation. Yeah.
Okay, Luo?
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, where are you from? I'm guessing you're from China.
Oh, obviously, you're right. Okay.
All right, well, it's nice to meet you, Luo. What part of China are you from?
I'm from the southwest of China. I'm living in Chengdu, but currently I'm located in Chongqing. Oh.
Ah, okay. I've only traveled to northeast China, so Beijing and that area. But I am planning on coming back. I want to travel around. It's such a big country and so diverse. So interesting.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, well, welcome, Laura. It's nice to meet you. How long have you been studying English for?
I have been studying English for 1.5 years, but I was studied English in my elementary and middle school for 6 years, but I think it didn't work because in that time I don't like to learn anything, Okay.
I completely understand. I think that definitely happens to us all at school. Well, I'm glad that you've had 1.5 years of learning English that you actually wanted to do, so that's great.
Thank you.
All right, let's say hello to Michael. Hey, Michael.
Hello, teacher Amy.
How are you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
You're awesome. That's great. I'm awesome as well.
Yeah.
It's good
Why
to see you
so?
again.
What happened?
What happened? I don't know if there's anything specific that's happening. Just everything's going smoothly at the moment. You know, sometimes in life you have like times when everything's going smoothly and then it goes wrong again occasionally. Yeah, I'm on one of the smooth times, so it's good.
As well, I meant the same.
Yeah?
Not
All right.
really happening, but just all is okay, nothing bad. So
Yeah,
that's really good.
It is. It's definitely good. And how's your studying going?
Well, to be honest, sometimes I forget intermediate advanced words, like not these function words, but like more to describe something or to give some details. I kind of forget and I cannot remember that word on the spot, like when I speak. So that's really frustrating for me when I speak and I cannot recall the right word and I need to use either a dictionary or to Google or something. So
yeah, definitely. That is so frustrating. I think that the only way to kind of overcome it, Michael, is just with time, because it's like when you're a kid growing up, there are some words that you don't really learn how to use till you get a bit older, because you don't hear them that often. So like you get the main vocabulary of a language, and then there's all these other interesting words around the edge, but it takes a while for them to settle in your brain. So just be patient, I guess.
No, but I knew them like before, but like some kind of
But they don't
brain.
stick in there. Yeah.
Yeah, some kind of brain or something. I used them in a conversation like 1 month, 2 months ago, but nowadays like I can't recall them. I can, so kind of random situation. Are you in New Zealand, or
Yes,
did you move to?
I'm in New Zealand. It's 7 p.m. on Wednesday evening for me. I already had my whole day.
7 p.m. Yeah, now.
Yep.
Oh, it's not too late. It's okay.
No, not late. Just the other end of the day to Europe.
Okay. You need to book more classes, like, because I think you only in the night time you have classes when. So my time is like 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock. I seen like your classes.
Ah, okay. What time is it there now?
11.
11. Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. So basically, it depends on the Verbling schedule.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not in control of what class times I'm given unless a teacher cancels and I take up their slot. So it looks like I've got a couple more evening classes coming up in the next few weeks, though. So that's good.
Okay.
Look out for them, Michael.
I look out every day.
All right. Good. I'm glad to see you again. It's nice.
Thank you. Nice to see you as well.
Cool. Let's say also hello to Johnny. I haven't seen you for a couple of weeks, Johnny.
Hey, hello, Amy. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good, thank you. Actually, I'm glad to see you because I was missing your classes, and yeah.
Well, I'm glad to see you too. I have to say, you have one of the best profile pictures, Johnny, because I can completely recognize you from it.
Okay.
I beg to differ. Mine is the best picture.
Michael, yours has a long way to go to compete with Johnny.
Okay.
Because Michael doesn't have a picture. It's just a blue bobble instead of a head. But Johnny, how's your studying been going?
They are going good. I mean,
Yeah.
I have been separating a time to study English, and actually, I have too many free time, right? Because I got a job, but actually I got fired, so I am not working anymore. I am, yeah.
That's terrible, Johnny. That's not good news, is it?
Yeah, bad news, but I am getting used to it. I mean, it's quite normal because in 1 year I lose 2 jobs, so it's okay for me. But I am trying to study and get another job, even a better one.
You are making the best of a bad situation.
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain, right? Because what is gonna help me if I stay here complaining about that I got fired from my previous job? You know, it's not gonna help me anyways. So
That is so true.
I put my head high, and I am, I'm trying to do something else with my life. So that's the deal.
Excellent. You hold your head high, Johnny. Hold your head high.
Yeah, okay.
Good, I'm glad to hear it. And at least you're making the most of your time by studying. Maybe it will get you a better job, and you'll be glad that you didn't have all those other jobs that are behind you.
Yes, of course. I think when one window is closed, other doors can open or something like that. I don't even know what is the code it looks like. There is in Portuguese.
Right, but the wrong way around is when a door closes, A window opens.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, I believe that. So I am just waiting for something better to happen.
Cool. Well, I believe that too. So good luck, Johnny. I'm glad.
Thank you very much.
And welcome to the class. All right. Hello to Carmen. I haven't seen you for such a long time. How are you?
Hello, Amy. Good morning to everybody. I haven't seen you either. Where have you been?
Well, in New Zealand.
Yeah, I know. I just saw in the Facebook page. I thought you were in Spain, so I was just wondering why you're not teaching the morning slots. I know why now.
Now you know. But
Yeah.
I've just been talking to Michael about it, and I've been telling him a few more evening slots are coming up in the next couple of weeks, which is it's morning for Europe. So keep your eye open, okay?
Yes, because I think you're teaching. My time is 1 in the morning or 2 or something. So there's no
It's a
way I
little
just
bit
can. Yeah, yeah, it is.
even for a Spanish woman.
Has to be mornings for me.
No, I
How are you doing
understand.
there in New Zealand?
Good, thank you. I've just been saying that everything's going well so far, so that's good.
Okay.
Yeah, I miss Spain though. I have to tell you, Carmen, I really do miss it.
The weather?
Oh, the weather. Actually, the weather wasn't that great. My flat was a little bit cold, I have to say.
Mhm.
But I miss the food, I miss the people, I miss tapas.
Okay. I'm going to San Sebastian tomorrow for a few days, so I hope it's going to be nice there because, the weather there up in the north is not the same as here. We'll see.
Right, well, good luck with that.
Thank you.
And how's your studying been going?
The thing is, the problem is that all the British teachers have left. There's no morning slot for the British teachers, so I was just
no.
doing with the Americans, and I mean it's okay with me, but I miss the British accent a little bit. So so when I saw your open slot, I didn't miss a chance.
Good, I'm glad to hear it, Carmen, because I've missed you. All right. So let's get on with what we're actually going to do today, guys. I've got an article from a website called Yes Magazine, and I've given you the link just there. A short introduction. This is a really good website to go to if you're feeling down, which I'm not at the moment, but it always has really interesting, good news on it about really cool things that are happening in the world. And it's one of my favorite places to read if I feel like I want to be cheered up. So I recommend it for that purpose. But today what we're going to be reading is a kind of interesting article because it's about compassion. And not only compassion, but compassionate men. You can see, we have a nice picture of boys. I think especially, and I don't know about your cultures, but in my culture, it's quite considered sort of like almost maybe uncool for men to do certain things. So it's not cool for men to cry or show their emotion, or it's not very macho. And this article kind of challenges that, which I think is good because men are humans too, right, Johnny and Michael and what?
Yes,
So Carmen and me are going to be reading
not
about
human.
you guys. Okay, Michael's an alien, but the rest of you are human. So we won't worry about Michael. All right, so we're going to do what we usually do. That is read as well as we can. If you get stuck on anything, I'll help you, but I'll generally let you read and then correct you afterwards. And we'll try and learn some new vocab together, or maybe practice some that we've forgotten. Hey, Michael, you never know. So either load up the article or just read off the screen. Can you guys all see that? Let me zoom in. Whoop, a bit more. There we go.
Yeah.
All right, so
It is
who
too
are we
big,
going
I
to get to go
guess.
first? Too big? All right,
guys,
there we
I
go.
don't know about the others, but
Is that okay?
it's okay now.
We'll stick with that. All right, since Luo was here first, could you start us off, please, Luo, with reading? So the title and this little bit underneath.
Okay, you mean subtitle, maybe. Okay.
Yes.
5 habits of highly compassionate men. Having compassion leads to increased happiness, freedom from gender stereotypes, and better relationships with others.
All right, scientifically proven, guys. So if you want to be happier, be free of gender stereotypes, and have better relationships, then you need to be compassionate. Here we go.
What is compassion?
Ah, very good, Michael. That's rather important.
Maybe I understand, but I don't understand in proper way, so that's why I am asking. Just to
Okay. To clarify, good idea. Can anyone give their definition of compassion? Or just have a go? It doesn't have to be a perfect definition. Nobody. All right, well, I will do it. Compassion, feel free to look it up in the dictionary, but for me, it means feeling sort of connected, or like you would like to help or be sympathetic or empathetic towards somebody who's going through some kind of a difficulty. So if someone's having a problem, a difficulty, and you feel inside you that you would like to help them, be there for them, not necessarily do anything, but yeah, it's similar to what Carmen's just put. It's like empathy.
Okay. We have a joke. We have a joke. You ask, for example, how can I help you? And I say, financially. Did you understand the idea?
I like it, Michael.
Okay.
All right. So here's the picture.
So,
yes.
yes, and so the thing about compassion is like having opened our hearts or stuff like that, right? Don't hesitate to do something that you want to do only because people can think that it's something wrong. All right.
Yeah,
That's
exactly right, Johnny.
the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So the key thing about it, I guess, is it's the feeling that you have. It's not so much an action that you take or anything, but it's feeling compassionate for somebody, especially if you've been through a similar thing. I suppose it's easier then. All right, so let's get reading. Law, could you continue for us, please, with From Here I Remember?
Okay. I remember being a very compassionate child while watching The Little House on the Prairie. I cried my eyes out when Laura couldn't give Pa a Christmas gift, but 12 years of physical abuse and being forced to the confines of the Act Like a Man books won most of that compassion out of me by the time I reached adulthood.
Keep going a bit, Law.
Although I was what therapists call high functioning, my lack of compassion was like a cancer that poisoned my friendships, relationships, business affairs, and life. At the age of 46, I hit rock bottom. Unemployed and on the verge of the divorce, I found myself slapping my 4-year-old son's head when he wouldn't listen to me.
Just one more
Is that
sentence.
okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As a survivor of abuse, I had promised myself that I would never lay a hand on my children, but here I was abusing my beloved son.
Great. Okay. Well read. Let's go through just a few little things. So this word here is prairie.
Prairie. It's
Yes.
a location, right?
Yes, a prairie is similar to like a plain, or it's an area of land which doesn't have much on it. It's sort of barren. Maybe grass grows there. It's the type of habitat where, I don't know, lions live, sort of. Okay.
Okay.
Which they have a lot of in the USA, where this is set. The Little House on the Prairie is a very famous series of books and films. If you haven't ever read it, I highly recommend it. It's very, very famous and wonderful. Okay, so the next one is rung.
Rung. I don't know this word's meaning.
Okay, so that made it difficult to pronounce. It's pronounced the same as the past tense of to ring, as in to phone somebody. Does anyone know what rung means? Rung out. It goes with here. It's a phrasal verb.
Almost at compassion out.
Like trees. That's something.
So to wring out is the present tense. Can anyone recognize it now? I've put it in present. No?
I don't know.
To wring out. No?
Extract by squeezing or pressing?
Thank you, Michael. Did you look that up in the dictionary?
No.
Okay, well, very good definition then. If you wring something out, it's exactly right. You get rid of the water or whatever in it, typically. So you would technically, for example, in the kitchen, if you have a wet cloth, you wring it out, you squeeze it basically, get the water out, and then you can wipe.
Okay. Get it. Mhm.
If you don't wring it out, then it is awful. But in this case, it's talking about the metaphorical wringing out. So he's wrung out compassion instead of water. Okay, one more word law was this one here. Beloved, beloved. It's an unusual one in that we pronounce the ed as a separate syllable. My beloved son.
Beloved son.
Exactly. Okay, are there any parts that we don't understand? Some quite good phrases in here. I'll just point them out for you. To hit rock bottom is a nice one.
And what means couldn't give a pa Christmas? Oh, pa is a name. Okay. Pa.
Pa is another word for father. Instead of dad, yeah. It's like an old-fashioned dad, okay?
Okay.
So to wring out, to hit rock bottom. Anything else? No?
To be at the lowest point. To hit the
Thank
rock
you,
bottom.
Michael. Yep, to be right at the bottom of, can't go down any further. What does it mean when he says, I would never lay a hand on?
Hit. I would never hit.
Exactly. Yep. All right. Okay, so Carmen, can you just tell me what have we learned so far? Who is talking, who is writing, and what has he said, roughly? Oh, are you there? No? Are you there, Carmen? She's gone to get a drink. Let's ask Johnny. Johnny, can you do that for me? Can you just give me a quick summary?
In order that what I understood so far, I think that this person was a compassionate child, but he suffered from physical abuse, and he was forced to confine his act like a man box, what he says in the text. So he just changed the way that he is, and that is a part of the text that says that when she was in a bad time, he promised to himself that he would never hit his son, and he did. So, yeah, that is what I understood so far.
Perfect, Johnny.
Hello?
Amy?
Emin?
We can't hear you.
Yeah, she's frozen. I think she's about to get dropped.
Connection issues, maybe.
Yeah.
How about my sound? Is my sound clearly?
Yeah.
Your sound? Yeah, yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Well, every time that teachers screen share, they have problems with the internet. I think that is something in the Google Hangouts that, you know. Okay,
Yeah.
she's back. Welcome back.
Teacher Amy,
You
where
are
have you
muted.
been?
Nice to see you again.
Teacher, you are muted.
It's because I wasn't actually in. Now I'm in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Trying to stay calm because... Okay, apologies for that, guys. I don't know
It's
why
okay.
that happens, but anyway.
I don't know.
So, at least we're all back here. So, Carmen, I was actually going to ask you to read. If you could read here from I Knew, please.
Can you hear me? Because I don't know, because I've got bad connection today.
Yeah, I
Can
don't
you
know
hear
whether
me?
it was my problem or your problem. I couldn't before, but now I can, yes.
Okay then. I knew I had to change. I started with empathy, which led me to compassion. I committed to a daily meditation practice. Took the CC, I don't know what is this? Care Cultivating Compassion class at Stanford University and completed a 10-day silent meditation retreat. I read and researched everything I could find on compassion. I found the more compassion I felt, the happier I became.
Keep going.
Convinced that I had found an essential ingredient to a happy and peaceful life. Started to interview scientific and spiritual experts on compassion, trying to find out what made a compassionate man. Interviewers included Dr. Kellner, co-founder of the UC Berkeley Greater Good Science Center. Dr. James Doty, founder and director of the Center for Compassion and Altruism Research and Education at Stanford University. Dr. Rick Hanson, author of Wiring Happiness. Mark Brackett, director of the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. And Thich Nhat Hanh, I know you could speak Chinese. I don't know if this is Chinese.
I think it's Vietnamese. I believe he's
Okay.
It's not a Chinese. All right.
I don't know how to pronounce that. Anyway, Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen Buddhist monk nominated by Martin Luther King Jr. for the Nobel Peace Prize in 1967. From these interviews and research, I compiled a list of what makes a compassionate man.
Thank you, Carmen. Okay.
Okay.
Your reading is beautiful. So my comments are only very small things, just to make it even more perfect, okay? So this word here is committed. Committed with the emphasis on mit.
Okay, committed?
Yes, that's better.
Committed. Okay.
Yes. This one here is convinced, not convinced. Convinced.
Ah, okay. Convinced.
Good. Okay. This one here wasn't wrong, but when we have a word with this E on the end, another example is employees, we tend to emphasize it a little bit more, just to make out the difference between the and the E, because we have normally employer, employee, interviewer, interviewee. And to make it clearer, we emphasize the E on the E one. So it's interviewees.
Okay, interviewees.
Exactly. Perfect. Last one is this. This is a Zen.
Zen?
Yeah, that's better.
Zen.
All right, great. Thank you. Any questions about vocabulary?
Okay. Thank you.
Do we understand? This is relatively straightforward, I think. All right, if we have no questions, what we'll do is read the first point. So, Michael, you're up, please. Point number 1.
Learn to see compassion as strength. Most events events I attend that discuss compassion are predominantly attended by women. When I asked Thich Nhat Hanh how we could make compassion more attractive to men, he answered, "There must be a fundamental misunderstanding about the nature of compassion because compassion is very powerful. Compassion protects us more than guns, bombs, and money. Although many men in society see compassion and sympathy as feminine, which translates to a weakness in our patriarchal society, all of the compassionate men I interviewed view compassion as a strength." Dr. Hansen noted, how did it? Noted how compassion makes one more courageous, since compassion strengthens. How did it is?
Strengthens.
Strengthens. The heart courage comes from the French word cœur, which means heart. Dacher Keltner argues that Darwin believed in survival of the kindest,
yeah.
Yeah, kindest, or the fittest, actually. Not the fittest. Dr. Ted Zeff, author of the book Raise an Emotionally Healthy Boy, believes that only compassionate men can save the planet. Zeff argues that the time has come to break the outdated, rigid male code that insists that all men should be aggressive, thick-skinned, and unemotional. An excellent description of the act like a man box that I tried to live in. The compassionate men I interviewed agree with the Dalai Lama when he said, "Love and compassion are necessities, not luxuries. Without them, humanity cannot survive."
Thank you, Michael. Another beautiful passage read by you. Okay.
Thank you.
There are a few little comments I'm going to make. So, let's go through from the beginning. Compassion. This was just about the phrasing, because usually your phrasing is perfect. But instead of putting the emphasis on us, put the emphasis on protects, okay? Compassion protects us more than guns, bombs, and money.
Compassion protects us more than guns, bombs, and money.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, this one here is patriarchal.
Patriarchal.
Correct.
Patriarchal.
Good. Okay, so the other ones you mentioned were noted, which I can't find anymore.
Noted. Next paragraph.
That one's noted, right?
Noted.
There we go, yeah. And strengthens.
Strengthens.
Good. This one's courage.
Courage.
Excellent. Kindest.
Kindest.
And the last one is the Dalai Lama.
Dalai Lama.
Now, that's probably not how you're supposed to pronounce it in his language, but in English, that's what we say.
Dalai Lama.
All right. Thank you, Michael. Any questions about vocabulary or parts that we don't understand, everybody?
No, so he basically says that women are seen as compassionate, but if a man compassionate, they are seen as weak men, and that's all what this paragraph says.
Exactly right, basically.
Oh, I don't know what patriarchal means.
Okay, can anyone explain it?
Religious?
No.
No, it comes from father. Father
Yes,
is the boss.
It comes from father, that's right, Carmen. But what does it mean? What's a patriarchy?
Patriarchy.
That is the father is the kind of a leader.
Yes, it's not
based
so much
on
the father.
With the man.
Yeah. Exactly. It basically means a society or country or whatever, culture, in which men sort of are more
Leader.
important, or the ones who lead, or the ones who control? Okay.
Okay. I think I've got it. But what's the opposite of this word? I think there is a opposite society of
Well,
Matriarchal.
yes.
matriarchal. Okay.
Matriarchal.
Thank you.
Matriarchal.
Okay, thank you.
That's obviously when women do the job instead of men. Yeah. All right. Any other questions? No? Okay, I want to ask you then. Let's ask Johnny. Johnny, do you feel that compassion is kind of embarrassing, or do you feel weak if you show compassion as a man?
And well, here in Brazil, it's pretty almost like that. You know, if you're just like Michael said, if you are showing compassion, you are seen just like a weak person if you are a guy. But if you are a woman, so you're just a person that shows your feelings, so you are a good person, though. You know what I'm saying? So for guys, it's really tough to show our feelings, to show, you know, the way that the women like act. It's quite difficult for us to act like that. So it's pretty almost like that here in Brazil.
Okay, so that's not a surprise to me, but it's kind of sad, I think. Let's ask
Yes.
Carmen, what's it like in Spain?
I think it has to do with our culture too. I think it's a Latin culture. Men are bound to be strong, the strong ones. They don't show their feelings. They don't never weep. So I think it's the same. That's
Okay.
just Johnny just said.
Yeah,
Something to do with the culture.
definitely. What about you, Michael? What's it like in Russia? I'm thinking the same.
Well, to be honest, I cannot generalize because I don't have insights like about this really.
Okay.
And I take like each person as a part. So I think depends on each person. Maybe it's a trend that all the men like seen as a without they don't have this compassion. But I cannot like to tell you like 100% that is like that. So I think it depends on each person in part.
Okay, good answer. How about you? Are you comfortable showing compassion or not, would you say?
Sure, depends to whom. Because if a person really is going through some bad times or something, and I really care about that person, I help that person, not only show compassionate. I help if I really care. But if no, not so much.
Okay. Yeah, great.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
Well, here in my country, I don't know about the other countries, but it's pretty common, it's pretty normal. Guys showing compassion with other guys, you know, instead of girls. Because when you are showing compassion with a girl, and so you are seen like a weak person. Yeah, that's the way that it works here. So it's, if you are showing, I mean, if you have a male friend, I am a guy, but if I have a male friend and I show my, you know, the way that I am when I am passing through a bad time or whatever, when I am showing this to him, so it's pretty common, you know, it's not something surprise. But if I am doing that with a girl that I, you know, I mean, it can be my friend though, so it is kind of embarrassing, I would say this, and yes, and so that's why we try to avoid it.
Okay, so it makes a difference to whether you're showing your compassion to guys or girls. Interesting.
No, question to Johnny. But if, for example, your friend, a female friend, she's going through like a difficult time or something, family related, would you be a problem to you to be like a nice friend to her, or?
No, it would be okay, you know, because it's the way that the society works nowadays, you know, in most countries. So that is, you know, it's normal for girls showing compassion instead of boys.
All right, so maybe let's ask, I'm going to come to you in a second, Law. I just want to ask Carmen, are you married, Carmen?
Yes, I am married, yes.
How do you feel about your husband being compassionate? Does he show compassion to other people around you, or
Um,
would you say?
I think he does. I think he does, but in his own way. I mean, I got this tendency to show my feelings, and for instance, I cry a lot. You know, I cry for everything, and I have never seen him crying. So, but I think he shows compassion, but it's in a different way that I do.
Okay. So he doesn't cry. What does he do?
No,
How does
never
he show
seen. No, I have never seen crying all my life. No, no.
Wow, that's amazing. So I cry all the time as well, Carmen.
Me too.
So it's hard for me to imagine never crying, but I suppose if you train yourself, you could do it.
But I don't
Noor.
think there's anything wrong with crying. I mean, it's like you're letting yourself out. You know, it's like you've got everything bottled up inside, and you just open it. So I don't think there's
Absolutely.
anything wrong with that.
Neither do I. Agreed. Luo, tell me about China. Is it usual for men to show compassion?
I think it depends because this society is very very tough and because they're growing fast, so everybody wants to gain the upper hand, and I think relatively some people lost their compassion. But if you do this in the right way, I mean, in the right occasions, that doesn't matter. But I think some people, just lots of scams around us. Like you could meet a fake beggar on the street to beggar from you. So you have to identify who is real people needs to help. Yeah.
Real people, real needy people, Luo.
Real needy people, yeah, real needy people.
Gosh, that's how do you tell? Is there any way of telling if someone's a real beggar or a fake beggar?
Fake beggar, is that the right words? I'm not sure. Fake beggar. Yeah, I think there are some gang member. Maybe they are just a gang, and then they try to pretend to be a beggar. Lots of people, but they are not.
Okay, I understand. It sounds, tough. That sounds tough. So it's difficult to be compassionate because of the competition in society. Okay, let's continue reading. Johnny, this is your your section, please.
Okay. Have compassionate role models. Okay. All of the compassionate men seemed to have role models that supported their compassion strength. Mark Brackett, I don't know how to pronounce it, okay, gives credit to his uncle, Marvin Maurer, who was a social studies teacher trying to instill emotional intelligence in his students before the term emotional intelligence was coined. Over 30 years after teaching in the middle school, Maurer's Feeling Words curriculum acts as a key component of the Weill Center for Emotional Intelligence's ruler program. Similarly, Marshall Rosenberg, author of the book Nonviolent Communication, constantly mentions his compassionate uncle who cared for his dying grandmother.
Keep going, Johnny.
A role model doesn't necessarily have to be living or even real. Chade Mantan, author of Searching Inside Yourself, cites Ben Kingsley's portrayal of Gandhi. Oh wow, it was a tough one.
You're doing
as
well.
a role model, yes, for compassion. Okay, Dr. Ranke Hansen possessed Ender from the science fiction novel Ender's Game as a compassionate role model. Thirdly, Jesus and Buddha are obvious role models of compassion. The key is to treat them like role models. Okay.
Do one more paragraph,
Uh,
Johnny. This one here.
Role models are not meant to be worshipped, and the field. Okay, I just lost myself here. Okay, the field are created to.
Yep.
They are meant to be emulated, and they pave the way for us to walk in a similar path. Can we turn the other cheek and love our enemies like Jesus asked us? Can we transcend our ego and see all of the things as one, like the Buddha did?
Well done, Johnny. Just pause there because that was quite a lot for you to take in. So we'll go through a few words. You did really well. That was a tough bit. So here we go. This is instinct.
Instinct.
Perfect. This one here, you said it correctly, but the emphasis is on the po, component.
Component.
Yep. Then we have this one here. This is a bit of a tricky one. Portrayal.
Okay, and portrayal.
Good. This one here is deified.
Deified.
Excellent. And the last one, emulated.
Emulated.
Good. Okay. I'm going to ask anybody if they would like to comment on vocabulary.
I've got a few verbs that I don't know the meaning. Instill.
Instill. Okay. Whereabouts is it, Carmen?
Third line. When you start from
here we
first
go.
paragraph, third line.
Okay. Can anyone explain what the word instill means here? Or have a guess even?
Insert.
Yeah, okay, so
Find
that's
out.
not bad. Yeah, so it really means to try and, you can see from the context here that a teacher is trying to emotional intelligence in his students.
Teach.
What he's trying to do, yeah, it's not so much teach as cause something to happen in them. So he's trying to cause them to experience this emotional intelligence.
I know distill. I think maybe this was related to water as distill. Yeah.
Good try, Law, but no. Distill is something completely different. Okay.
It's like okay, teacher trying to steal emotional intelligence. It's like I am not so sure, but awake setting in his students or something.
Exactly. It's very similar to all of those. So a combination of awakening, inserting, as Michael put, trying to bring out emotional intelligence perhaps in his students. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Any others?
Yes, there was another one. Deified. I think it's got something to do with God.
Correct. Basically, Carmen, it just means make into a god. To make something into a god.
Yeah, because it's the same in Spanish. Okay.
Okay.
Worshipped.
To worship, what's worship mean?
Worship, adorar.
Yes. But I don't
know how to explain it.
So it doesn't help.
But you've got your God, and you got to pray for that God. For instance, you go to the church, you've got that icon in there, and you just kneel down and you pray in front of him.
Yeah, exactly.
I have a question actually. What is the difference in worshipped and prayed? It seems to me they are pretty almost the same. Like
I'm going to type them into the chat box. Okay, so we have pray. And we have worship, right?
But it's not the same thing.
No.
Okay.
To pray, I would say, is where you're kind of talking to God in a way. It's you and him, or you and her, or you and it, and you're having some kind of a one-way conversation. So you're talking to them, asking and thanking them, something like that. Worship is similar to another word in English, which is praise. And it basically means that you're showing your love for this God, or you're showing respect, or you're showing that you value your God by doing something. So it could be like singing, or kneeling down, or there's loads of ways to do it. But it's showing respect or showing love for God, I would say.
So if I thank God for the food that I have on my table, I am praying, or
Correct.
I am worship.
Well,
What am I
it
doing
really
there?
depends on you, Johnny. I would say normally that would be considered as praying. Like we have some grace we say at the table. Thank you, God, for this food and for the hands that made it, or something. Amen. That's a prayer. Generally,
Okay.
worship is like singing or doing some kind of other action.
Yeah, I see that. Okay, thank you.
Good question, actually. It's quite hard to describe when you put it like that. Okay, any other questions?
Pave. Yeah.
Where's that, Carmen? Sorry, I didn't hear you
Yeah,
properly.
it's third line in the bottom. You go
This.
from the bottom. They paved the way for us to walk a similar path.
Okay. To pave is, if you think of a path, what we call them is paving stones. And to pave something means to put down stones so that you create a path.
Ah, okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
So to pave the way is like a metaphorical creating a path, okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Got it. Thank you.
Any others, guys? No?
What does that mean? And turning the other cheek and the love our enemies, like Jesus asked us. What does that mean exactly? Turning
Okay.
the other cheek.
This is like a biblical reference, so a reference from the Bible, which is the holy book of Christians. Is anyone able to explain this?
Yeah, this is when, for instance, when you've been slapped on one cheek, you just put the other to be slapped again. I mean,
Exactly.
you don't want to fight. You just settle down with it, and that's it.
Absolutely. So what's happened, Johnny, is that because this has come from the Bible, it's now common language. So it's not like only Christians say this, but it originates from the Bible because this is what Jesus did. He didn't fight. He basically let people do whatever they liked to him without fighting back. So that's what it means.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so we're getting close to. Let's finish this reading here. Luo, could you finish this part for us, please?
No problem. 3. Strive to trust. Sorry.
Just as yeah.
Okay. In contrast, individuals who were not guided by positive role models. In his book From Wild Man to Wise Man, Franciscan Friar Richard Rohr describes what he calls father hunger. Thousands and thousands of men, young and old, grew up with a good man's love without a father's understanding and affirmation. Rohr, who was a jail chaplain for 14 years, claims that the only universal pattern I found with men and women in jail was that they did not have a good father. Scott Kriens, former CEO of Jupiter Networks and founder-director of the 1440 Foundation, concurs, the most powerful thing we can do for our children is be the example we can hope for.
Thank you, Luo. This is a really great lesson for reading, guys. Well done. You're doing really well. Just 2 words here. This is affirmation.
Affirmation.
Good. And this one here is concurs.
Concurs. So I don't know those words meaning. Yeah.
What does concur mean?
Concur. I don't know.
Anyone else?
Up is like an assertive or something. I don't know.
Actually, it literally means, it just means that they agree. I concur means I agree.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's simply what it means. Any other questions about vocabulary from this masterful section?
Affirmation.
Prior?
All right. First of all, affirmation. What does affirmation mean?
Oh,
It's like confirming or something.
Yeah,
confirmation.
exactly. It's like to say, yep, this is true. I affirm that this is true.
Oh, thank you.
No problem. And was it friar that you said, Carmen?
Yeah, friar is like a monk or something?
Yeah.
Okay, a monk. Mm-hmm.
Like Friar Tuck from Robin Hood, if you've ever seen
Ah,
him.
okay.
Okay, so we've got to finish in a moment. I want to ask about role models. I'm going to ask Michael because we haven't heard from you for a while, Michael. Tell me about role models in your life. Was your father a good role model for you, would you say?
Yeah, my parents, my father.
Is there
They-
anyone else?
My sister.
So your family.
Yeah.
What about outside your family? Is there anyone who you admire or you think there are some aspects of you that I wish I would be like or I'm going to follow?
Well, I kind of look on all the people around, and I kind of make an overall opinion. I summarize all their appearance, thoughts, and things like that, and I divide, and I have my opinion based on others' opinions.
That's good.
So you're saying that literally everybody in your life is sort of like a role model in one way or another?
Yeah, I cannot say that for example, I admire, let's say, Mahatma Gandhi or someone from these kind of persons. I just I'm most simple person. So I just kind of look at all the people and I pick up the qualities and what they have. So I think I need these kind of things, and I just not pick up, but say. So I become something like that. But what I don't like, I push away. Yeah. Right.
Absolutely. Michael, I love that philosophy. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not so much philosophy, that's a way of life. I don't think I need a role model or something to look at like Barack Obama and to say, oh, I want to be Barack Obama or something.
Yes.
And to stick to that all my life and to come at 40 and I'm not Barack Obama and to think, oh my God, I'm a loser, no? Okay.
I agree too. I think you can learn from anybody. Doesn't really matter. It has to be famous or something. You can learn from everybody every day.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
For example, I learn from Carmen when she is in classes, something from Amy, something, so from Johnny, because he is often in class, so that's okay for me.
I agree. I have to say, I often learn lots in my classes, even though I'm the teacher. So, all right, I'm going to leave it at that because that's a really nice thought to end the class on. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, all of you, for sharing and for some really great reading. Well done. It was great to see you all, and I hope to see you again soon.
I hope so. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.